What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, look, let's chop it up about Star Wars real quick. And look, let me say this, man. The Star Wars franchise is on the bottom of the ocean, okay? There's no doubt about that. All right, it is a dead brand. It is a dead franchise. I guess the question is there anybody out there that can resurrect the brand? All right, is there a creative, a director, a producer? Is there somebody out there in the world that can pull Star Wars off the bottom of the ocean and breathe some life into it? Say, yo, get this. I know what the audience is looking for. I know what the audience needs. Is there somebody out there like that? All right, we're going to answer that in just a minute. But look, what is out right now is all of this name-calling bullshit, calling folks fascists and racist. Yeah, that's out, man, all right? That Star Wars, I'm telling y'all right now, Leslie Headland coming out saying this bullshit does not help your brand whatsoever. If your creatives are calling folks fascists and racist, most people are going to be like, all right, cool, wallet's closed, I'm out. I'm not fucking with it, okay? I'm not going to give money to people that hate me. Disney should actually, and I don't understand why they don't do this, they should disavow comments like this. Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, they should all come out and say, hey, look. That's Leslie Headland's opinion. She can make her statements. It's a free country. But we personally do not think that our community of Star Wars fans are fascist and racist. We disavow these comments. You know, because they quick to jump on your head if some random, dude out there in the world puts up some racist tweet. All right. Next thing you know, talking shit on Moses Ingram or whatever. And then here comes Ewan McGregor. Oh my God. Like they freaking out and going crazy over like one person or two people saying something and then lambasting the whole community. It's like, well, why don't you talk to your creative and say, hey, creatives, keep your mouth shut about this fascism and racism or we will disavow everything that you said and you'll never work for us again. Like, why are they allowing their creators to get away with this shit? I don't understand that. I wouldn't. Okay. But look, this is what keeps Star Wars down. It's to the point now you got a new trailer out for Mando and Grogu and nobody cares, okay? Nobody cares about this trailer. Nobody cares about this movie, all right? It says, well, we're showing off more of Zeb and Baby Yoda destroying a droid. So what?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Yeah, like this was on Mandoverse Updates HD version of the new scenes from the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that's playing in front of Zootopia 2. So basically, if you go and see Zootopia 2, you'll see and it's really the same trailer. I saw like somebody put up a pirated copy before it got took down. But yeah, it's just this. All right. This is all it is. You got the Razor Crest. All right. You got Mando and, you got Baby Yoda there. And then you got, Zeb.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
It's like, this ain't nothing exciting, man. I don't care about any of these. And nobody cares, man. Nobody's coming to see this movie, man. This movie is going to flop, all right? It's going to flop and it's going to flop hard. I also saw this shit, right? I guess this is right now playing in Brazil. This little clip of Baby Yoda. Like, they're using this as some sort of, like, marketing or whatever. And it's like, ooh, he changes Baby Yoda to Grogu. It's like, he's still Baby Yoda to me. He always gonna be Baby Yoda. I think Grogu is a dumbass name, But once again, like, nobody's fucking with this movie. Nobody cares. But the next movie that's coming up, Shawn Levy, Star Wars Starfighter. This, I'm gonna say it right now, does have a little promise. It does have a little promise. I was watching this interview right here. Shawn Levy talking about Star Wars Starfighter, Stranger Things, and Night at the Museum and other things that he's done, all right? Listen to how he talks about the Star Wars franchise, and what it means to him as a director.
Filmmakers are magicians, right? It's like we're immersed into their world. I was curious for you, what was that pivotal movie that you saw at a younger age that kind of maybe even subconsciously became the thing that...
It's such a cliche answer, but it's an extra poignant answer because of what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It was Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was 1977. And I just remember, I loved Star Wars. I loved Empire. But boy, I must have been somewhere in my adolescence for Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
Is that 84? 83?
I think so.
84?
I think it's 83. That's my favorite of the trilogy.
Let me tell you something. People, I've not said this out loud because everyone's like, which Star Wars movie is Starfighter the most like? Which is it the most inspired by? If I'm being honest, I know the cool answer would be Empire.
Sure.
And sort of the inarguable answer would be New Hope.
Yeah.
But it's kind of Jedi. It's Jedi because the combination of theme, levity, adventure, heart, spectacle, somehow that movie just got it right for me. And I saw that movie so many times in the theater, more times in the theater than New Hope and Empire, and it stuck with me. And I will tell you, there's moments on, I know we're not talking Starfighter yet, but there's moments where I'm on set and I feel like that kid is with me in the director's chair.
See, that's somebody that actually cares about the franchise. He grew up with it. You can tell. All right. The way that he's speaking about it with the passion. All right. And he's tapping right into the things that made us love Star Wars when we were kids. All right. He's tapping right into it. All right. Yeah, it's the spectacle, it's the themes, it's the adventure, it's the heart, it's all of it, all right? That part is what Star Wars has been missing, you know, in a lot of ways. And so he's tapping right into that, and it's like, it's such a breath of fresh air to hear somebody that's directing a Star Wars movie talk like this about Star Wars, as opposed to how Leslie Headland was talking about Star Wars when she was doing The Acolyte.
This is like what we understand to be Star Wars, like the idea that like that only came from George Lucas, that only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars is just untrue. And I think the prequels are an excellent example of that. I mean, the idea that like when you're hiring a director, that everyone is sitting in there waiting for George Lucas and not for the person who's going to know to hire Ralph McQuarrie, that's the problem. That's the misogyny and the problem with.
Shut up, bitch!
It's like when you hear that crap, man, it's like, how did Leslie Headland get the job? She talked her way through that job, man. She had to. But then, yeah, you know, like Shawn Levy, he obviously directed Deadpool and Wolverine. And, you know, whether you think it's a great movie or not, it's a lot of fun, all right? It's a fun guys movie. When you walked out of the theater, you was like, hey, I had a great time, man. And it's made $1 billion, and he at least gets it from the standpoint of, hey, we just got to have these two dudes just getting into some hijinks, have some laughs, have some fun. And that's what folks are hoping from Star Wars Starfighter, all right? It's got Ryan Gosling, obviously, as the lead. I mean, he looks like a guy, all right? Male lead, all right? We're not going to get some sort of a, you know, demasculated, you know, bitch-made dude, all right? At least we hope not, you know? And then the rest of the cast, Amy Adams, Aaron Pierre, Mia Goth, Matt Smith, it's like, okay, I got a little hope, all right? I know rebellions are built on hope, man. I got a little hope that this thing might actually turn out to be halfway decent, you know? And that's what you want. I saw this part as well. Shawn Levy says Star Wars Starfighter is an all-new, non-sequel, non-prequel adventure. It's like, okay, all right, so it's not connected to any of the bullshit or whatever. It's like, okay, we good. I'm enjoying this so far, all right? You hear this one right here. This is on Geeks and Gamers. Shawn Levy says, no studio interference from Lucasfilm. Star Wars Starfighter entirely original. It's like, all right, okay. I got a little bit of a hope. But see, folks have already said, DA, you already know what happens, all right? All right, we already know what's going to happen. Ryan Gosling is the Starfighter, and he's supposed to deliver this kid to a Jedi because he's force sensitive. And who's that Jedi? Oh, it's REY.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn!
And look, regardless of how you feel about Daisy Ridley, the person, all right, REY, the Star Wars character, is utter trash. This is a terrible character. And he got diminishing returns from The Force Awakens down to The Rise of Palpatine, 50%. Half the people came back to see how this thing was going to end up in theaters. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about this character. And so if for some reason you have this, all of this going on, this guy is dropping this guy off at this chick's Jedi temple, it's over, all right? You have completely killed the franchise. But hope springs eternal. I saw this headline right here. Disney's 2027 Star Wars movie undergoes last-minute ending rewrite confirmed. Star Wars Starfighter faced an unfortunate setback during production. And folks are wondering, like, does this mean that they got REY's ass out of the movie? Did Daisy Ridley say, I'm not doing this? Fans don't like me. Fans don't like my character, I mean. And maybe we need to pull the plug on that. Yeah, it's right here in the exact same interview with Shawn Levy. Let's pick it up and let's see what he talks about when he's talking about these last minute changes.
And I'd say on most of my movies, there was something unexpected. On Starfighter, it was, we had a whole different idea for something in the third act, and then things didn't align, and I was forced to come up with a new idea. And I'm literally right now shooting that section of the movie.
Wow.
And every day I'm grateful that the way I was supposed to do it didn't work out.
Wow.
Because the new idea that it forced me to explore is so much better than the original idea would have been.
So think about that. He says he was forced to change something. What could that have been? That usually involves actors that had to drop out. Maybe somebody got sick or whatever. We don't know, okay? Maybe Daisy Ridley just said, hey, I can't do it. Or maybe it's something else. You know, I'm speculating at this point in time. But it does seem like it's a possibility that, yeah, maybe, just maybe, they had to change the ending, which would have been dropping the kid off with Rey. Oh, we got to change that because Daisy Ridley, you know, she said, fuck Star Wars. I'm not doing this. I'm tired. All right. Y'all dragged me out here on this stage back in 2023 for Star Wars Celebration, and already 2 movies leapfrogged me. 2 movies that weren't announced at Star Wars Celebration in 23. All right. The 2 movies that were announced aside from hers was the Dave Filoni thing and the James Mangold movie. And none of these movies are in production, and we already got Mando and Grogu and Starfighter. So maybe Daisy Ridley is salty, and she said, you know what? I'm going to just keep going with my career. Nobody likes this character anyway. I probably, you know, I make some little, you know, little bit of money, but I don't need it. Here's your $6 million back or whatever they gave her to play Rey again. And she's just going to move on, which would be smart. All right. But yeah, the direct is kind of like leaning into maybe that could be the case as well. It says Star Wars Starfighter might have cut a major Jedi cameo and rewrites. Shawn Levy made a comment about how things didn't align and may indicate that the issues that led to his ending change were out of his control, perhaps due to shifts involving other Star Wars projects in development at Lucasfilm. Interestingly, some fans are convinced that Daisy Ridley's Rey is the end goal of Starfighter, with Ryan Gosling's character trying to get his Force-sensitive nephew to her new Jedi Academy while evading intergalactic bad guys. This is fueled by rumors that Starfighter is hiding a big cameo in the 3rd act that could set up a trilogy. If these rumors carried any weight, it's entirely possible that such a surprise was what was eliminated or changed in these rewrites. Yeah, I think it was eliminated, okay? I think this surprise cameo, surprise, Rey's in the movie now, you know, that's gotten yanked. You know, Rey's new Jedi Order movie is reportedly on hold, despite prior expectations that it could arrive before Starfighter. Yeah, nobody thinks this thing is coming. I think this is absolutely dead. All right. I think the movie is 1000% dead. There will be no new Jedi Order film. And I think hopefully Daisy Ridley has just moved on with her career. I'm not even doing cameos. We're not setting anything up. There's no point. We couldn't get this trilogy to work. We couldn't get this new movie to work. This 3rd act trilogy, whatever they were trying to set up, this isn't going to work. The fans don't like this character. And so why keep going? But yeah, I am excited, at least for a little bit, to know, okay, what's this guy cooking up with Starfighter? He sounds like a legitimate Star Wars fan. I'm willing to give him a shot. Again, I still think the brand is dead. All right. I still think the brand is you're going to have a real hardcore fan. Somebody that understands the fans, not like this dumbass right here. All right. You got to get people like Leslie Headland out of the mix. And you got to start focusing on fans that actually care about the franchise and want to see the franchise shine. All right. And I think that might be Shawn Levy. Again, he did wonders with Deadpool and Wolverine. All right. Say what you will about the movie. I think it was, you know, solid enough, you know, brought butts in seats. Okay. Put butts in seats. And it was a lot of fun, at least for that first watch. Now, does it hold up on the second rewatch? Not at all. But the first rewatch, the first time watching, I had a blast, man. I loved it. All the cameos and everything. He did a great job with the film. So we'll see what happens. But what do you guys think, man? Hey, look, I think we need to get away from this chick right here. All right. Get her out, all the way out. All right. Going back to this will completely destroy the franchise. It's already dead. Now you're just saying you haven't learned any lessons, all right? You're not listening to your audience. You're not reading the tea leaves and seeing what's going to work, what's not going to work. So going back to Daisy Ridley at this point is an exercise in futility. If I'm them, I'm saying, all right, let's see what Shawn Levy got. Let's see what Shawn Levy got. I like his enthusiasm. He seems like he's cooking something up interesting. He's changed up the ending. He says the ending is better. If the ending that they had before was Rey and they got Rey up out of the way, you've already improved the movie like tenfold. All right. You've done amazing jobs with the movie. I don't even know what the movie is going to be about, but you've already done an amazing job as long as you get rid of Rey. Okay. And then, of course, like I said, he got a really powerhouse cast. Hey, I'm willing to look at it. I'm willing to give it a shot, but not, not going to give him, carte blanche. Oh, Star Wars is back. I'll have to save that until 2027. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Go ahead, jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.